This contract comes out of Angola. That's right, Central Africa, where Emmerich claimed they were working on a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. There's been a massive oil spill from Mafinda oil field. It's flowing into the river and contaminating the water supply. An environmental NGO has asked us to stop the spill by destroying the facility. Environmental activism isn't exactly our line of work, but it's not that simple either. The group operating the oil facility and causing the spill is the rebel group UNITA. And word has it that UNITA is getting supplied with U.S. military weapons. That sounds to me like Cypher's pulling their strings. Boss, it's time to give Cypher a little surprise.
The oil runs to the pipeline from that facility. Taking it out should end the leak. The client this time is an environmental NGO. Destroy the facility. Stop that leak. This may seem like straight-up philanthropy, but there's another reason we agreed to it. The Mafinda oil field was outdated, abandoned. Then the rebel group UNITA moved in, taking it upon themselves to kickstart operations. UNITA's been rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Rumor has it someone's been selling them U.S. military hardware. Intel's analysis suggests the broker's a front company, Cypher's. Keeping tabs on UNITA can tell us who's pulling its strings. That's step one to tracking down Skullface. And Cypher with him. Good luck, boss. First, make your way to the oil facility. It's to the north, past Bwala Yamasa. The village is currently occupied by UNITA, so stay sharp. The war industry we started has taken a pretty crooked course these past 9 years. With no other options, soldiers have become dogs of war, sent to conflict zones as private forces, or PFs. Guys we fought alongside are dying all around the globe for no reason. No banner. But it's how they survive. The demand for PFs here in Africa is especially high. Cold War standoffs, resource exploitation, tribal clashes. What's big business for developed countries has only brought conflict here. That mess you're standing in is just the latest example. That's one of the targets, the oily water separator tank. It filters impurities from the oil, making it the backbone of the whole facility. Destroy this, and I'll have no way to start the facility up again. It's built pretty tough, so you'll need explosives to take it out. However, the tank is highly pressurized. There'll be quite a bang when it goes up. Make sure you keep your distance. That's one of the targets, the oil transfer pump. We don't have a precise location. You'll have to search for it on-site. Stop this pump, and you stop the flow of oil. There should be an emergency stop button next to the pump. All you have to do is hit it. The relay station from Mafinda oil field. They've cranked up the old machinery despite it being much too decrepit to run. That led to the oil spill, which is contaminating the river. To stop the spill, we need to shut down the oil transfer pump and destroy the oily water separator tank.
There's a violent power struggle going on within the Contract Forces of Africa, the PF that ran security for the Mafinda oil field. Most of their key people are Afrikaners, but naturally for a South African organization, some of its founders are British. Details are sketchy, but apparently the Afrikaners are holding these British personnel for interrogation near Kaziba camp. We've been asked to rescue one of them, a man known as the Viscount. We don't have the Viscount's exact location, but he doesn't speak the Afrikaners' language, Afrikaans. They'll need an interpreter who speaks English in order to interrogate him. Meaning if we tail the interpreter, he'll lead us right to the target. By the way, the contract specifies that it's all right to ignore the other British prisoners. But the final decision is yours, boss.
Several high-level British CFA officials are being held by their Afrikaner colleagues. One of these prisoners is the rescue target, a guy known as the Viscount. The target's location is unknown, but they're bound to have an interpreter present when they interrogate him. We've used info from the intel unit to predict the interpreter's location. It's on your iDroid. Follow the interpreter and extract the target when you find him. The Afrikaners are holding several British prisoners in different parts of the camp. The interpreter and interrogator supposedly go from place to place to conduct their questioning. The target is one of those prisoners. The interpreter will be present for the rescue target's interrogation. He's a CFA Merc II, but he serves as a language specialist. His job is English Afrikaans simultaneous interpreting. Tail him to find out where they're keeping the target. That's the rescue target known as the Viscount. But don't let that fool you. He's no aristocrat. He started out in the British Army's Scots Guards, moved on to the SAS, then became a mercenary and helped create the CFA. How he earned the moniker is unclear. You found the interpreter. Now follow him to the target.
That's not the target. Orders are only the Viscount gets rescued. Can't understand why he'd receive special treatment, but I don't imagine it'll be a problem to save the other prisoners too.
Meld aan met gevangenen.
Goeie werk, troep.
Wel, wat maak het met hom?
Sit hom saam met die vrou. Ek sal hulle saam ondervra.
Ja, meneer. Beweeg.
Staan op! Ek gee jou 'n laaste kans.
This is your last chance.
Die MPLA se olieveldregte. Waar het die inligting vandaan gekom?
The MPLA's oilfield rights. Where did you get this information?
I told you. I only know it was an anonymous source.
Dit was 'n anonieme bron.
Moenie vir 'n poepel vat nie.
You're not fooling anybody.
Ask any of the others. Nobody knows anything.
Hy sê jy moet die ander probeer vra.
O, so hulle het saam 'n storie opgemaak. Dit is hoekom jy nie die Britte kan vertrou nie. Weet jy hoeveel Afrikaners sit onder julle gelei tydens die Boereoorlog?
You made up a story with the others. You British are all liars. You know how much the Afrikaners suffered because of you in the Boer War.
That wasn't me.
Hy sê dit was nie hy nie.
Maar dit was julle wat ons verraai het.
But it was you that betrayed us.
It wasn't me. It was the Viscount.
Genoeg! As jy niks weet nie, is ons seker klaar hier.
This is a list of prisoner detainment locations.
Alles in orde. Nou kan julle albei met my gesels. Waar het julle die inligting oor die MPLA se olieveldregte gekry?
Now you will both talk. Where did you get the information on the MPLA's oilfield rights?
We don't know anything. I swear.
Hy sê hy sweer hy weet van niks.
Believe us.
So jy verwag van my om te glo. Jy het die MPLA gekontak op inligting van 'n anonieme bron.
You mean you attempted to contact the MPLA based on information from an unknown source?
We thought it was suspicious, sure. But we stood to make a lot of money out of it.
Dit was verdag, maar hulle wou 'n wins maak.
We're businessmen.
Ons is sakemanne.
Sakemanne. Jy grap seker. Gefaalde huursoldate wat die land probeer kaalstroop.
You're a joke, not businessmen. Failed mercenaries trying to skin this country.
We didn't try to hide anything. The Viscount said to keep quiet for now. That's all.
Sy sê hulle het nie bedoel om iets weg te steek nie, maar die burggraaf het hulle stilgehou.
Ha, dis as die burggraaf se skuld. Goed. Die burggraaf kan ons die res vertel.
En 'n Viscount can tell us the rest.
Wait, she had nothing to do with this.
Moenie bekommerd wees nie. Die hel is groot genoeg vir julle albei.
That's the rescue target known as the Viscount. But don't let that fool you. He's no aristocrat. He started out in the British Army's Scots Guards, moved on to the SAS, then became a mercenary and helped create the CFA. How he earned the moniker is unclear.
Ons jou laat wag.
Sorry we kept you waiting.
You're gonna kill me anyway.
Hy sê jy gaan hom in elk geval dood.
Miskien nie. Afhangende van wat jy met jou tel.
Maybe not, depending on what you tell me.
We don't know the informant's identity.
Hy sê hulle weet nie wie die informant is.
Ek vind dit baie moeilik om te glo.
He does not believe you.
Maar as jy so graag die Emerald wil skop, dis ek om te stry.
If you want to die, we will make it happen.
Nooit vir die Britte gewerk het nie.
We never should have worked with the Brits.
The nationalists.
They're nationalists.
Apartheid on its last legs already. Give it the times.
Apartheid is besig om tot 'n einde te kom.
Dis gatsie vir 'n verraaier.
That is some attitude from a traitor.
What am I supposed to say? Trust me?
Hy verwag nie dat jy hom moet vertrou nie.
But how about we make a deal?
Hy sê hy wil probeer om 'n ooreenkoms te sluit.
Janie,
That door is closed already.
Wait.
Boss, one of the other British prisoners filled us in about the Viscount. It turns out he's a real two-faced son of a bitch. He was planning to secure the MPLA's oil field rights for himself in exchange for swapping the CFA's alliance from the anti-government United rebels to the state-backed MPLA. He hid this from the Afrikaners, but once he thought the jig was up, he tried to pin it on the other British personnel and take off. The Afrikaners captured him, and that was when he asked us to rescue him, and only him. I'll throw him in the brig for now, but we may have to be extra persuasive with this one. By the way, boss, we got some interesting news out of our friend the Viscount. He mentioned that more than a few PFs in the region have purchased walker gears. The CFA's the same. That's Soviet Army technology, and it's still a prototype. Only Cypher could be leaking it to the PFs. But the question is, why?
Boss, this contract comes from the MPLA, the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola. Apparently, new Western bipedal weapons have been deployed to Ditadi abandoned village and are a threat to their troops. Our job is to eliminate them. The bipedal weapons they're talking about are, of course, walker gears. As I previously reported, they're already in active service with PFs in Africa. But don't you find it strange? A PF employed by the West obtains a prototype developed by the Soviets, yet the Russia-backed MPLA don't know the details. Eastern weapons technology developed in Afghanistan is being supplied to the West, in Africa. Only Cypher would be capable of making something like that happen. So, boss, eliminate the walker gears at Ditati Abandoned Village, just like the MPLA have asked. Once you do, the PF will need to contact its supplier, giving us a chance to close in on that supplier, Cypher.
Boss, this contract comes from the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, also known as the MPLA. The PF at Ditati Abandoned Village has been supplied with walker gears. Your job is to eliminate them all. Destroy them, extract them, whatever you see fit. This just might get us closer to the walker gear supplier, Cypher. Good luck, boss.
Targets have been deployed to that outpost. Find and eliminate all of them. That's the target, a walker gear. A bipedal weapon system developed by the Soviet Army. They're designed to be quick, even on off-road terrain. Don't take this one lightly.
Boss, we were right. Once you'd eliminated those walker gears, a resupply call was made from Ditati to CFA headquarters. The CFA then contacted none other than Saner. That's right, the shell company that owned Mfinda Oilfield. So Saner was just a front for Cypher. The resupply won't be happening just yet. But we did learn that the walker gears are transported out of Nova Braga Airport. Apparently there's a distribution network on the Savannah that links all the PF outposts. I'll have the intel team investigate this network. If Cypher is supplying PFs with walker gears, the PFs have to be offering them something in return. We follow the money trail. We might just find ourselves on Cypher's doorstep.
Boss, about those walker gears deployed by the CFA. It appears that it's not just the CFA. PFs all along the Angola-Zaire border are also getting equipped with them. The bipedal technology was developed by the Soviets, but Cypher's the one supplying it to the PFs. The question is why? What's in it for them? The answer may lie in the compensation being traded to Cypher by the PFs. Many outfits operating in Africa get locally mined resources as spoils of war. Diamonds, nuggets of gold, and rare metals. According to the intel team, there's a PF convoy that regularly transports the goods. Escorted by armored vehicles, no less. Pretty heavy security for crossing the remote Angolan savannah. I can't imagine Cypher would be so interested in minerals alone. Those convoys have to be transporting something else. Something that holds the key to Cypher's plans. Boss, I want you to extract the truck, cargo and all, from the PF convoy. Let's find out what Cypher's real goals are.
Boss, your objective is to steal an entire truck from a PF convoy. We don't have a fix on the truck we want, but the intel team has spotted the unit that's been tasked with escorting it. They're stationed at the guard post to the north of Nova Braga Airport on the Savannah. The rendezvous with our target will be any time now. Start by heading to that guard post. Then follow the escort unit. It should lead you right to the target truck. Boss, extract them from the mission area. You can check the target details on your iDroid.
Be careful down there, boss.
That escort unit should target after leaving that observation post. Hurry after them. That's the truck being used in the convoy. Extract that truck with the cargo still in it. You can also drive it out of the hot zone yourself if you prefer. But our objective is to study that cargo. Make sure you bring it back in one piece.
That's the armored vehicle escort. It has some serious firepower. Make sure your gear is up to scratch before you duel with that thing.
Perfect, boss. It's the escort plan for the transport truck. I'm putting the escort unit's predicted route on your iDroid. Get after them. They should rendezvous with the target soon.
Akka, dis transport. Ons het die sekuriteits-escort ontmoet op pad na die bestemming.
Is jy gereed om te ry?
Enige tyd.
Nou wys onder die seil in geval.
Is beter as jy nie weet. Ieder geval, dit sou kontrakbreuk wees as jy kyk.
Ek het gerugte gehoor. Dink jy dis waar dat die bose gees in Zambi jou siel sal besit as jy kyk?
Moenie die seil lig nie.
Goed. Jy is op pad met 'n rivier.
Ja. Doen my 'n guns en kontak die buitepos daar.
Ek maak so.
Rig steen my daar, kerels. Sien jy enige iets vandag?
Nie regtig nie, maar
Maar wat?
baie ouens het verdwyn in hierdie dele die afgelope tyd.
Verdwyn? Soos in ontvoer?
Maar het jy al die gerug gehoor? Daar's 'n woud in die Zaire-grens. Blykbaar vol spooke. En enige iemand
wat ooit daarin gaan, kom nooit uit nie.
So jy weet daarvan.
Luister, jy loop nie en praat hieroor nie.
Wat bedoel jy?
Ek skuld julle 'n gids, so volg net my advies.
Ag, weet hierdie ou.
Iets fout.
Ek moet jou vrag inspekteer.
Hey, stop dit. Jy ken die reëls. Lig daai seil op en my kliënt gaan bedonderd raak.
Dink jy ek gee hel om?
Ons het 'n ooreenkoms. Jy sal aangekla word van kontrakbreuk.
Sê vir jou baas, hy moet die rekening stuur.
Wat die hel, man?
As 'n aansteeklike siekte om die buitepos. Stroom af. Is waarskynlik dat dit deur 'n ander permanente mag losgelaat is.
En jy blameer die FSA.
Ek het dit nooit gesê. Maar op die oomblik is almal bietjie lig geraak oor buite staan. Net een kyk en ons kan alles oplos.
Ek gaan nie die verantwoordelikheid hiervoor vat nie.
Dis 'n CP. Laat die konvooi deur. Akka het ons geskakel. Die boodskap is: ons het 'n gesamentlike verhouding met zero risiko sekuriteit in hierdie saak. Eensidige optrede in die gebied sal nie geduld word nie. Eensidige optrede sal nie geduld word nie. Dit is Akka se bevel. Ons het geen ander keuse nie. Boss, we searched the truck you recovered. There were two primary types of cargo. First, drums of malachite, a copper ore. That took up most of the truck bed. But malachite isn't valuable enough to warrant an escort. The real cargo was likely the second item, a shielding container. The contents, yellow cake. That's right, the raw material for a nuclear weapon. That might point to the weapon to surpass Metal Gear Emmerich told us about. But who can say? Thing is, there isn't a lot of it. Not enough to make a nuclear warhead. Give us some time. We'll look into it. Try to figure out why they had this under such close guard.
Boss, this is an emergency. We had two intel team agents undercover at the PF Contract Forces of Africa. The CFA have captured them both. They don't have long to live. You've got to get them out of there ASAP. Since our mission at the oil field, we're no longer just business rivals to the CFA. We're enemies, and they want revenge. Our men will be killed the moment the interrogation's complete. And then it won't just be a matter of 2 dead soldiers. Their execution will be a catalyst, sparking resentment within Diamond Dogs against the CFA. Our men will push us to retaliate. Then things will cease to be about business. We'll be starting a personal war. That's not what we set out to do. The 2 men are being held in Kaziba camp. Hurry, boss. They're counting on you. Don't let them down.
Two of our intel team members are being held captive by the PF in that area, the CFA. Your job is to rescue them. They don't have long to live. It appears that one of our 2 men has broken out of the encampment and is on the run. He contacted us to say he was surrounded. That's the last we heard from him. Your map is marked with a predicted field of movement based on where his transmissions cut off. The other man is still captive inside the encampment. Boss, rescue our men. Extract them both and get them back to Mother Base.
Be careful down there, boss. Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. He can't stay on the run forever. Move quickly, boss. Kaziba camp, the enemy PF's outpost. One of the targets is locked up in there.
That's our intel team agent. He's being held in Kaziba camp. Get him out of there. Recently, the CFA have suddenly pulled their men out of Massa village. Strategically speaking, it's as if they lost their minds. I sent him in to find out what their reason was. That guy on the run is from our intel team. You've got to save him. He last made contact from the forest to the north of the encampment. There's a rumor that locally hired CFA soldiers are dying around there. And I don't mean in firefights. Our man was assigned to find out what's going on.
Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. He can't stay on the run forever. Move quickly, boss. Kaziba camp, the enemy PF's outpost. One of the targets is locked up in there.
Target's transmitter. He must have dropped it trying to contact us again. Judging from its data log, not much time has passed since the transmitter was dropped. He should be close by. I'm updating the target's predicted field of movement. All right, that's the target. Quickly, extract him while you can.
The disease was her fault. Just shouting it at me. Over and over. Kept saying, "You think we're angry?" Kept saying, "You think we're angry?" The poor bastards from Massa Village will bleed you all dry for this.